Okay, thank you for coming today, whether it's today or in the future. Tonight we're going to be doing classes a little bit different now that the reopens happen. I will be doing a random martial arts video every week, one a week for now, whether it be traditional, Krav Maga, a mixture of the two. Tonight we're going to be doing defense against a wrist grab with a Krav Maga, but later we're going to be throwing a little bit of extra into the mix. So real quick, before we move on to some combos, let's go ahead and get warmed up. Arm rolls forward, a nice 10 count. Good, arm rolls backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's warm up those elbows. It's kind of in a counterclockwise. Good, going in now. Good, wrists. Get them all loosened up. That's the thing. Somebody sent me a question like, why do I focus on the wrists? Everything we do when we punch is building on itself. The wrist is as important a muscle in punching as almost anything else. You know, if I break part of that chain, I lost that power. You have to have a loose, flexible wrist to get that snap in. So loosening up that wrist is very important. Good, arms together, push. Really focus on that chest, relax. Maybe a little higher, push. Relax. One more time, push. Relax, good. Now let's work the back. You're gonna hook, grab, pull. Make sure you use those back muscles to really pull it open. Relax. Back, pull, relax, adjust the angle, pull, and let go. Now when you're doing those isometric exercises, you really need to make sure to focus on the muscle that you're trying to isolate. The chest, the back. I mean, because you can do the push and use the back, but that's not what we're focused on. We really want to be using the chest for that. So really focus on that muscle group. Let's move into a few combos. So, first combo, Krav ready stance, Krav fighting stance. Lead hand jab, rear hand punch with a pivot. Make sure you work the body. You don't want to be fighting one of those fighters that can only strike in this area. You want to make sure that you can be hitting the full target. Head, body, body, head, it doesn't matter, but make sure you work the body. So, 1, reset. 2, reset. 3, reset. 4, reset. 5, reset. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, that was 6. Oh well. Switch. Roundhouse punch to the head. Roundhouse punch to the head. Make sure that when you throw that roundhouse punch, hand is up and down, elbow is behind the hand, arm parallel to the ground. So if I'm going to the head, boom, it's here. Nice straight line. If I'm going to the body, here, nice straight line. The main reason being, it's all about physics. An object in motion stays in motion. So if I hit and my elbow's down, I'm losing all that force because my elbow's going down. If my elbow's up and I'm hitting, it's going to go up. And it's not to mention the damage you're going to cause your wrist by being out of angle, or the damage you can cause your rotator cuff by that elbow flaring out. So really make sure that that elbow is behind that forearm. So we're going to go roundhouse punch to the head, followed by a rear hand palm strike. 1, 2. My count, I'm all up on the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch. Really make sure that you're working those hips, that you're using your whole body for the strike, that you're not just swinging your arm. It's the whole body motion. It's the core that gives these techniques power. It's the ground, but we all know what I mean. So, resetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, reset, switch other side. Good. Lead hand, horizontal elbow, followed by a hammer fist to the head. Now, a lot of people have the tendency of getting this swing down. You'll notice that when I have the tendency of doing this, I'm stopping there. You got to remember, with your opponent, you're striking 2 to 3 inches past the opponent. If I swing all the way out here, that's a lot of negative space. The problem with negative space is you leave yourself wide open. So if I'm here, I just open myself wide up. So make sure that you're striking 2 to 3 inches past your target. So horizontal elbow followed by a hammer fist to the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, switch. So we're going to move on tonight. Like I said, that's just, I wanted to get your blood flowing a little bit. Feel free to add as many more combos that we've done in the past as you want. Tonight we're going to be focusing on defense against a wrist grab, single hand wrist grab. It doesn't matter if somebody just comes up, grabs you by the wrist, or if they grab hold and they try to drag you off. The defense is the same. A couple things I want to point out. It's going to sound counterintuitive. Don't fight back. Don't turn into a tug of war match. The harder you fight, the harder they're going to fight. If they have grabbed you by the wrist and they don't have a knife, a stick, or a gun in the other hand, you have time to react. You have time. But if you immediately pull backwards, they're going to tighten their grip, know you're a fighter, and then it's an uphill battle from there. So make sure when they grab, you relax. They're the ones holding your hand, not you. Just relax, let them have it. Then when you're ready, then you can explode. So the first movement of the technique, somebody grabs you by the wrist. Very first thing you're going to do, wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin. Wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin. Okay? From here, if you manage to loosen their grip, then of course, boom, bring that hand back and throw that punch. If they still manage to have control of your wrist, doesn't matter, punch them anyway. At which time you're going to grab them by the back of the head, stepping backwards, pulling them down, groin, head, hammer fist. So it's going to look a little something like this. Get used to seeing the bandanas. It is a mite bit hot here. So Bob here is my height. Bob grabs me by the wrist. First thing I'm going to do, wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin, punch to the head. He still managed to have hold of me, so I'm going to grab him here, stepping backwards, pulling him off balance, groin, head, hammer fist, punch, whatever. My bobs are full, so there's about 180 pounds in the bottom of that thing. Yeah, my bobs don't fall over. Anyway, so what is the most important part of this defense? You got to remember in Krav, there is no defense without an offense. The defense, wrist to the ceiling. The offense, kick to the groin. There's no defense without an offense. Now, I'm going to come back real quick to it's not about strength. I'm not saying strength can't play a factor, it 100% can. I mean, if you're big and strong like Bull, and they grab hold of you and you can just walk in the other direction, dragging them behind you, well then strength absolutely does come into play. But what makes this technique work is the explosiveness and the shock from it. So Bob has me by the wrist and he's pulling me, and then all of a sudden, boom, I explode and kick him in the balls, groin, groin, then that shock is enough that he's going to loosen his grip. He may not let all the way go, but he is going to loosen his grip. Anyway, we're going to be moving on tonight. I do have somebody that's going to help me demonstrate this technique. So give him a little latitude here to show that strength doesn't matter. So, look at me. So Dexter here, Dexter everybody, is standing here. Sorry, he just caught himself, or caught the video, so now he's awestruck. So Dexter here, standing here, minding his own business, and somebody walks up and grabs him by the wrist. Now, first thing Dexter's going to do, wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin. He has a tendency to kick it to the knees, which works. He's going to punch, rip and run. And you didn't see it, but does a fancy roll off camera. So, right here. So, why did that look different than me? Because Dexter's, as you can tell, a little bit smaller than me. He's going to be weaker than me. He's not going to want to stand there toe-to-toe and fight. He's going to want to disengage. And that's what he did. Settle down. And that's what he did, is he disengaged. Okay, so let's run through that again. But if you notice, everything's there. So, first thing Dexter's going to do, to the ceiling and kick to the groin. Punch, rip, and run. Now you hear me say rip. That is a traditional way of getting out of a wrist grab. Yes, that's you on the camera, get over here. So, the traditional way to, don't kick. The traditional way to get out of a wrist grab is very simple. You find the thumb. Where's the thumb? And you rip. Yeah, see, he's pulling backwards, he's pulling up, he's now pulling towards that thumb. And pulling to that thumb is key. You have to pull to the thumb. Now, what happens if somebody, now I'm going to throw him for a loop, because we didn't practice this one. What happens if somebody grabs like this? A weird overhand grip. Now you got to go to the thumb. Where's the thumb? Yeah. Boom, so just go. Yeah, just rip down. Now, once again, this is not a strength thing, because, come here. Because if Dex were to just pull in that direction,
do I do it?
Yes, do it. It's not going to work. Yeah, see, he's just turning into a tug of war match like I discussed earlier. You have to explode. So he's going to reset, and then he's going to explode, and go. So let's run through the whole thing again. So, too bad. So somebody grabs him by the wrist and they're dragging him. He's going with them. He's not fighting. And when he's ready, he's going to go to the ceiling, kick, punch, rip, and go. You gotta love those punches. His smaller surface area, they're like tiny little needles. Okay, again. Somebody grabs him by the wrist. To the ceiling. To the ceiling. Kick. Punch. Go. Good. Now, we only practice this side. Let's see if we can do it on the other side. Come here. So. Now I got you by this side. You got away. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Relax. Go. What's missing? Kick. Punch. I really hope you can hear the sound of that punch hitting my solar plexus. Again, one more time. So, let's break it down. What exactly is he doing? First off, what's the very first thing you do? Wrist to the ceiling, and you kick. Then you punch, rip and go. Thank you. You can go sit down now. Thank you. Okay. So, once again, let's run through those basics one more time. Somebody has you by the wrist. Shh. Go sit down now. Somebody has you by the wrist. First thing you're going to do, wrist to the ceiling. At the same time, you're coming up wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin, and punch to the face. You're going to grab them by the back as you're stepping backwards, pulling them into you with not just your arms, but your whole body. And then you're going to kick, groin, head, hammer fist. Now let's talk about some variations. Real quick, we're coming up towards the end, so if you please have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions about this technique or any other technique. What if the technique changes? Actually, I'm going to use my helper one more time. Come here. Because I get this all the time. What if I've been grabbing same side wrist grab? Not yet. I've been doing same side wrist grab. What happens if they grab by the opposite side? What changes? What changes? Nothing. Nothing changes. Wrist to the ceiling. Kick. Punch. Rip and run. Got me right in that floating rip. Yes, you can go sit down. Defensive against a cross-handed wrist grab. Go, please. No. Defense against a cross-handed wrist grab. Nothing changes. Wrist to the ceiling, kick to the groin, punch. Yeah, now their body may be turned awkwardly or sideways to you, but that doesn't matter. You just have to find a new striking surface. What do I mean by that? If Bob here grabs me cross hand here, and I rip and kick, Bob is going to be facing me this way now. I'm still going to hit probably to the face. I'm not going to hit the jaw, but I'm going to go to the temple, palm strike to the ear, something along those lines. This is where you have to start making Krav Maga yours. So, let's recap real quick. How do you train Krav Maga martial arts at home? Just like we did here tonight. You stand here. 1, 2, grab, stepping backwards, groin, head, hammer fist. You just run through the technique over and over and over. Now, I'm not saying there's no benefit to training with another warm body in the room with you. There 100% is. But at the same time, you being alone or you not having a partner is no excuse to not train. No excuse to not train. So, that concludes class this evening. Feel free. This will probably be up for another 30, 40 minutes. Go back, do the combo workouts again, run through anything that you may have any questions. This will be up and running on the website, or sorry, on YouTube here in probably 48 hours. Add this in, go back, watch any other training videos that you haven't watched yet. Add those into your training curriculum. If you liked, please leave a like. If you really liked, please subscribe. Other than that, y'all have a great evening, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Dismissed.